welcome back to our next video, that is public revenue. Public means government and revenue means the income of the government. So in this video we are going to study that which are the sources of the government's income. Government की income कौन से sources से आती है, that we are going to study in our today's video. So there are the two main sources. First is taxes, the second is non-tax. So first, government collects the revenue from the taxes and the other is non-tax revenue. So as I told you, taxes and non-tax. So taxes के भी two types are there, types of taxes. First is direct tax and another is indirect tax. So direct tax means what it is? The tax which is directly collected from the individual person. For example, income tax, wealth tax. These are the examples of the direct tax. And direct tax is the burden of the direct tax is carried by the individual person himself. Just now, if you know, each and every person now, even you can ask at your home that your parents, your father, mother might be paying the tax to the government, yearly taxes. मतलब जिधर आप भी रहते होंगे वो घर का टैक्स भरना पड़ता है yearly. इवन इनकम जो आती होगी, इनकम अगर एक्सीड हुई पर्टिकुलर अमाउंट से ज़्यादा, सो उसके ऊपर भी टैक्स पे करना पड़ता है टू द गवर्नमेंट, दैट इज़ विच इज़ नोन एज द इनकम टैक्स. सो दिस टाइप ऑफ टैक्स इज द बर्डन ऑफ दिस टैक्स इज incurred by the individual person himself. It cannot be passed to the other person, just like the indirect tax. So indirect tax means what it is now. If you see now, before the implementation of GST, different types of tax, indirect taxes were there. For example, custom, octroi was there, VAT was there, sales was there. So ये सारे टाइप के टैक्सेस थे पहले, बट नाउ ऑल दिस टैक्सेस आर रिप्लेस्ड बाय द GST, and GST is a type of indirect tax. So now indirect taxes can be transferred from one person to the another person because it is imposed on the various goods and services. अगर मार्केट में गए, मार्केट में जाने के बाद एक अच्छा सा मोबाइल फ़ोन परचेज़ किया, तो मोबाइल फ़ोन के ऊपर क्या रहेगा? GST लगेगा. But if you don't purchase only that mobile phone, you don't purchase that handset, if another person purchases that handset, then that another person will have to pay the GST. तो इधर क्या हो जाएगा कि वो जो इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स है वो ट्रांसफ़र हो गया वन पर्सन से लेके अनदर पर्सन तक. So that's why it is said that indirect tax can be transferred from one person to another, but direct tax is to be beared by the person or that individual himself. So these were the types of direct taxes and indirect taxes. Now let us see the next, that is non-tax revenue. Non-tax का मीनिंग है कि जो टैक्स में से नहीं आएगा, टैक्स के अलावा जो दूसरा इनकम है, दूसरा सोर्स है इनकम का गवर्नमेंट का, दैट वी आर गोइंग टू सी. फर्स्ट इज फीस. सो फीस इज़ नॉट अ टाइप ऑफ टैक्स, इट इज़ अ नॉन टैक्स. जैसे ना मेनी स्टूडेंट्स आर देर, यू ऑल नो एवरीवन, 10th स्टैंडर्ड का फॉर्म फिलअप किया रहेगा, अभी 12th का फॉर्म फिलअप करोगे बोर्ड का. सो ये भी एक क्या होगा, फ़ीस कलेक्शन का काम करती है गवर्नमेंट, एंड वो फीस कलेक्ट होकर गवर्नमेंट के पास जाएगी. एंड इट इज़ नॉट लाइक दैट गवर्नमेंट वो खुद रखती है पूरी अमाउंट. गवर्नमेंट ऑल्सो हैज़ टू इनकर द टैक्सेस ऑन ट्रांसपोर्टेशन. इवन जो टीचर्स आते होंगे सुपरविजन के लिए, पेपर चेकिंग के, इवन जो पेपर्स लगते होंगे वो जो भी जिस पर राइटिंग करते होंगे, या फिर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट, पेपर्स लेकर आओ लेकर जाओ, चेकिंग के अमाउंट. सो गवर्नमेंट हैज़ टू पे फॉर देम ऑल्सो, बट स्टिल फीस कलेक्शन की जो अमाउंट आएगी दैट विल बी द इनकम ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट. नेक्स्ट इज प्राइजेज ऑफ पब्लिक गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज. Prices of public goods and services, that means the for example you can say here directly, postal charges are there, railways are there. railways के जो fares पे करने पड़ते हैं, so these are the prices of public. मतलब public related है, नहीं है common में. common if you see here, common में आते हैं ये सारे goods and services. that means the public, all overall public uses these goods. जैसे ST बसेज आर देयर, रेलवेज आर देयर, तो ये पूरी पब्लिक मिल के यूज़ करती है ना ये सब चीज़ें, इसलिए उसका नाम है कि प्राइजेज ऑफ पब्लिक गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज. अंडरस्टूड. तो जो भी पब्लिक गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज है, इवन पब्लिक हॉस्पिटल्स, पब्लिक स्कूल्स आर देयर, तो ये जितना भी इनकम इधर से जनरेट होगा वो किसके पास जाएगा? गवर्नमेंट के पास. नेक्स्ट इज अ स्पेशल असेसमेंट. So special assessment का meaning what it is, that certain locality or certain citizens are there of a particular locality. So the government gives them the special facilities and then accordingly collects the taxes from them. कुछ एरियाज लोकेलिटीज़ ऐसे होती है कि दोज पीपल दे जस्ट डिमांड फॉर वेरियस फैसिलिटीज़ फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट. फॉर एग्जांपल हमें अच्छे से रोड कंस्ट्रक्शन चाहिए हमारी लोकेलिटी में, या फिर दे नीड गुड स्ट्रीट लाइट्स, और इवन दे नीड प्रोटेक्शन सिक्योरिटीज़ एंड ऑल. So if they demand like this, the government may charge them the different prices, means taxes will be imposed on them, special we can say prices or special charges will be taken from them. So that will be known as the special assessment, क्योंकि उनके तरफ assessment special रहेगा. Fines and penalties. Fines and penalties, that means many people are there. See now, traffic rules are there. Traffic rule तोड़ दिया, चले गए, fine pay करना पड़ता है उधर. So that is a type of fine which is again collected with the government. Even if you are traveling from one place to another, if you forget to carry your license along with you, suddenly if any policeman or any traffic police asks you for the license, and if you don't have that license available with you, then they may ask you for the fine. So such type of fines are collected again with the government. Next is gifts, grants and donations. So gift, grant and donation, this is given to the government, not to us. Means many a times the government gets the gifts from the other countries' governments, or even from the citizens of its own country. बहुत बार citizens ही रहते खुद की country के, गिफ्ट दे रहते government को, या अलग अलग donations भी दी जाती है. Now as at present if you see, during the corona situation, COVID situation, if you see, donations are given for the treatment of the people. Many of you might have heard on the news channels and all कि किसी टेम्पल वालों ने 50 lakhs दिए, किसी ने 5 lakhs दिए. Actors and actresses are there, they are also paying donations. So donations are given to the government many a times to incur the expenditure. Next is the special levies. Special levies, that means see now many goods and services are there which are habitual and without which the person cannot survive. For example, tobacco is there, drugs are there, smokes, this is there, cigarettes are there, smoking habits some people have, drinking habits and all. So what does the government do? Purposefully tries to impose more and more taxes on such type of goods which are habitual, without which the person cannot survive. So this type is known as the special levies. आया समझ में? Next is the borrowings. Borrowing means what it is, that if the government does not have that much income to do the expenditure, the government will borrow from the various financial institutions. First of all, the government will ask to the internal country, that means the government will ask from the commercial banks, from the individuals of its own country, and if they are not able to pay, then the government may ask to the World Bank or the IMF, International Monetary Funds and all. So it is known as the borrowings. Thank you.